Big changes this afternoon as we've gone from the lower 30s this morning. Some of us now surging towards 60 to Sunday evening. It's cloudy skies there on the Rheem Heating and Cooling Sky Tracker from the U.S. Bank Building. 57 here at the Weather Center. Those winds really starting to kick up out of the south at 12. Gusts up to 25 miles per hour. We are looking at severe weather moving into the region over the course of the next few hours, and a reminder that the entire Local 6 region under a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms. We're talking about threats including damaging winds and tornadoes. So here's how the whole thing breaks down hour by hour tonight. 7 o'clock, starting to see thunderstorms break out across central Missouri, or southeast Missouri rather, and back into eastern sections of Arkansas. And then watch how quickly this expands across southeast Missouri and into southern Illinois by about 8:30. This will be crossing the Mississippi River around 9 o'clock, headed right toward the middle of the area from around Harrisburg down through Massac, Pope County, Paducah, Mayfield, Murray, Dyersburg, and Union City by around 11:30, and then crossing over east of the lakes by around 2 in the morning, getting on out of here by around 3 o'clock. Our main concern with that line will be damaging winds. However, with some of those more isolated storms out ahead of the line, especially across the Boot Heel of Missouri, western Kentucky, and down in northwest Tennessee, there is a risk for tornadoes tonight. New tornado warning just issued for northwestern Callaway County, southeastern Graves County, as well as southern Marshall County and western Kentucky until 11 o'clock. We're tracking a storm right now that is near Linville, about 11 miles southeast of Mayfield, moving to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. That has indicated some Doppler radar, indicated rotation. Right now, no confirmation of anything on the ground with this, but we're going to keep a very close eye on it. Put a storm track on here for you very quickly. Moving off to the northeast, again at 70 miles per hour. Some of the communities that are going to be impacted by this storm: Kirksey at 10:45, Brewers at 10:47, Hardin at 10:52, and Benton at around 10:53. Right here on the county line, we see some of those brighter shades of green and then our bright shades of red and blue. That's where we have at least the potential for some kind of a quick spin up here right along the Graves-Callaway County line. As you look farther northeast along this line toward Benton and Draftonville, that's where we're seeing those very strong winds blowing in from the west, and so could be talking about 50, 60 mile per hour winds cutting across the middle of Marshall County right now. So watch out around Aurora. You can see a little bit of a kink in the storm right in this region, very close to the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's not too far to the southwest of Hazel. If we can, I want to go back over to our other radar source and show you the rotation on that. It is pretty well defined right in this region here. You can see this little green triangle that's showing up off to the southwest of Hazel. That's where the radar is picking up the strongest rotation. Those areas of green where the winds are blowing strong toward the Paducah radar site, blowing toward the northwest. Those areas of red where the winds are blowing in the opposite direction toward the south and southeast into Tennessee. Well, right in that region where we have that potential for a tornado to spin up really at any time, and this is going to be taking off into Callaway County within the next couple of minutes.
Extreme heat plagues the local area, and this, folks, is just the beginning. We begin tonight issuing a Weather Authority alert day.
And that alert, of course, for the extreme heat here in the Local 6 area. Meteorologist Trent joins us now from the Weather Center. Trent, how long will the extreme heat?
Well, guys, it looks like the duration going to be the big problem with this, because it's not going to be a day or two. It may be the better part of a week. In fact, the record right now for the longest streak of consecutive days at 100 plus is 5. That looks like it may be broken over the course of the next week or so. The National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory starting tomorrow, going through at least Sunday for all of West Kentucky, Southern Illinois, and most of southeast Missouri with those 100-plus temperatures. Now, one thing that's different from this heat advisory than others that we typically deal with, not going to be quite as humid. So this one, not necessarily for the heat index values, it's just for the fact that it's going to be 100-plus for, right now, at least 6 days in a row. Here's what we've got to look forward to. 105 the record tomorrow. That one looks like it may be broken. 106, that's the all-time record for the month of June. That one's going to be in serious jeopardy on Friday. More record heat on Saturday. 105 perhaps, and it just keeps on going as we head into the beginning of next week with those triple digits. Right now, no end in sight. Now tonight, things not terribly uncomfortable, 90 degrees at 7 o'clock. It will cool off pretty quickly with that lower humidity as we go through the course of the evening. 79 at 9 o'clock and 73 at 11 p.m. We'll share some tips on how you can stay safe through all of this heat coming up here in a few minutes, along with your 7-day forecast. Well, how hot is it right now? It is a whopping 108. That's just unbelievable in Mount Vernon right now. 106 in Princeton, 102 Paducah and Cape Girardeau, 100 for Paris and Poplar Bluff. And I don't know if it'll help you feel any better, but others are sharing our pain today. It's 103 in Louisville, 108 in St. Louis, 104 in Kansas City, 106 in Little Rock. Here's those temperatures over the next couple of days, hour by hour, 6 o'clock numbers tomorrow morning, 72 Paducah and Harrisburg. But wow, look at that by lunchtime, 105. Paducah, 103 Cape Girardeau, 103 Union City, 108, 109 Paducah and Harrisburg by 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, 107 for Carbondale, still in triple digits at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We only cool down to the upper 80s by 10 o'clock tomorrow evening, and it's the same old story on Saturday with numbers once again well into the 100s by the middle of the afternoon. Here's that 3-day planner for you. 107 the average high tomorrow. Our overnight low tomorrow night, 70, 106. Our high on Saturday, 104 on Sunday. And one of the things as we go into your 7-day planning forecast that you'll notice those overnight lows creeping up just a little bit. That's because our humidity also will be creeping up. A little bit more cloud cover perhaps by Monday and Tuesday, but right now, no chance of rain in that extended forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 at 6 in high definition.
And we thank you for joining us for a special edition of Local 6 at 6. Weather Authority Alert Day continues as we see this bigger storm moving into the area.
Could be a historic storm, certainly making for a memorable Christmas around the Local 6 area. A lot of folks were hoping for some snow, but not sure that we were hoping for this kind of an event. And in fact, this is the first time ever that the National Weather Service in Paducah has issued a blizzard warning for the Local 6 area. Here's what's going on right now. You can see just some lighter precipitation coming in across parts of the Local 6 area tonight, but it's really picking up and getting heavier as we look off toward our southwest. We're tracking this using the power of Ultimate Doppler 6 live radar from Springfield, Paducah, Memphis, and St. Louis tonight. That heavier precipitation really going to start to make its way into the Local 6 area over the next 2 to 3 hours. And by midnight and after, it's really going to start to go downhill across a large portion of the region. Let's give you a check of that snowfall forecast, and we'll go in a little bit closer coming up in a few moments. I want to kind of give you a broad view of what's going to be going on across the region. You can see the heaviest snow from about Poplar Bluff to New Madrid, tracking across the Mississippi River into southern Illinois. That's where we're talking about 6 to 12 inches of snow possible. Locally, heavier totals could be possible if we see some of those heavier bands setting up. As we head toward the Ohio River, this is really where it's going to be a tricky situation tonight. It all depends on how quickly we change over from sleet to snow and just exactly what the track of that low is. This could move maybe 25 miles or so either way, northwest or southeast. Nonetheless, looks like 4 to 6, a pretty good bet over much of the purchase area of western Kentucky down toward Reelfoot Lake, Union City, and Dyersburg. As we head toward a line from Martin to Murray and Hopkinsville, that's where we're going to start to see those totals coming down toward the 1 to 2 inch mark. We'll probably stay with rain for just a little while longer in those areas, and that will cut down on our snowfall totals. Here's how it looks on the hour-by-hour forecast. Within the hour, mainly snow for southeast Missouri and southern Illinois. That transition line right along the Mississippi River from the Boot Heel of Missouri across western Kentucky's counties along the Mississippi River and right up the Ohio River Valley. Head on to the southeast of that, a sleet-rain mixture for places like Murray, Princeton, and Martin, Tennessee. Snow for Carbondale and Cape Girardeau, and we'll continue to see through about midnight. Not much movement in that transitional zone there, but as we head on through the overnight hours by 2 o'clock, seeing that snow line creeping across the purchase area of western Kentucky. Sleet for us in Murray, Princeton, and Hopkinsville, but pretty much all snow for Poplar Bluff, Kennett, Vienna, and Harrisburg. We'll continue to track that changeover pretty much to all snow across the entire area as temperatures fall to the lower 30s. This is by about 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, pretty much all snow at that point in time. Heavy snow at that coming down still across most of the region at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We start to see the heaviest snows move into the northern Pennyrile area of western Kentucky and southern Illinois through around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, starting to taper off across sections of southeast Missouri from Poplar Bluff to Kennett and over toward Martin, Tennessee. Still some snow showers at around 10 o'clock, but by then the heaviest snows lifting on into sections of southern Indiana and then